What is good? I mean, what is really good, my people? It is your UK Trotter Brother, Dot Split, the darkest man around. And today, guys, I'll be talking about Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Strikers. And we got some leaked news regarding the trailer, or the second trailer, should I say, for this game. And I'm not alone. I am here with OG Dugan. Say hi to the people, man.
What is really good, my people?
And I just gotta say this before we get diving into the video, bruh. This is the third time we're recording this. This is the third time. Shout outs to the homie Cosmic, bro. Channel link will be in the description below. Check him out because his audio just carried on derping. So like I said, check his channel out. Link will be in the description below, or I'll pin it to the comments along with Dugan's. But today we are gonna be breaking down the trailer that we got for Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. The quality in the background may be a bit low. Just putting that out there because this game is like I said, it's leaked. But anyways, Dugan, just kick us off with something to talk about regarding this trailer. Like, what do you want to start off with?
Bro.
Just go.
I got you, bro. Alright, this game, one of the first things it's pushing in this trailer is large 3D battlefields. We're getting larger maps than ever, and they're not directly ripped from the manga or anime, but they're very much inspired by. They look very much like they are in the Naruto universe, so it's all good. And like I said, they're huge, and they're made for the acrobatic gameplay that they're pushing. These are multiple pillars. You're jumping one from another. You'll see during the trailer, they do a massive jump from one pillar to the next. This is great for spacing out battles. You got games like Xenoverse where it's hectic, it's chaotic. You can't really separate the battles. But in this, I mean, of course, that'll still be an issue for some because people are going to try to lynch you always in anime games because you know how people play. But I mean, it won't be as big of an issue as Xenoverse because of how large these maps are. Do you want to add on like maps or like how it's gonna influence the gameplay?
Yeah, okay. So when it comes down to the maps, it's really spacious compared to previous Naruto games. In terms of space, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Battle of Z, because Battle of Z did have big maps. But overall, in terms of the layout, in terms of how things look, we do see that there is similarities to games like Rise of the Ninja, Broken Bonds, in terms of the way the maps are, in terms of the way the maps look, especially with the forest map, which we haven't seen since, like, I can't remember since the last time we've seen the forest map. You know the map I'm talking about, the one with what's in there, Mizuki. We're seeing this here, and it's looking dope, and it's looking really cool with the way they're doing it. But as a whole, it really does have that platform-esque feel, but with more freedom. The maps, in terms of battling, kind of does look hectic, and it kind of reminds me a bit of a Dynasty Warriors with the way people are jumping from person to person in terms of the way they're slashing. But as a whole, the maps are looking decent. I can't really judge it fully because I need to play the game, because I don't know how the structure of the game is going to be laid out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the structure of the game is going to be laid out. It's early stuff, early builds. We don't know where this is going to go from here. But yeah, one thing I gotta say is, and this is not about the maps, this is about the types. It's good that there's 4 types because it's showing the importance of what each type can do. Like that, the fact that you need each type, the fact that you can't live without one type, pretty much. Technically you probably could, but it's showing the importance of each type, stating that okay, there's 4 types, have one of each type on your team. And whether it actually is needed is kind of iffy, but they're trying to push it, or trying to promote it in a way that you actually need to have each type on your team. But it kind of makes it iffy to me, like with some characters, like Sasuke, for example, is a range type. But Sasuke, arguably in the series of Naruto, has one of the best hand-to-hand combat skills in the series. So seeing him as a range specialist rather than a straightforward attacker or an inside fighter, it's kind of weird to me. It's kind of weird to me. And then you got that with Kakashi, who can actually be a range type and who can actually have a variety of ways. And then you got the same with Sakura, with her being the healing type. I can see why, but she got that raw power, so it's kind of it's kind of weird how they're limited it to one, but you can kind of see, yeah, you can kind of see why they are doing it like that. But yeah, Dugan, you got anything else to say?
Yeah, that kind of goes into, I don't know if you thought this, but earlier I definitely thought that there were going to be, that characters, you'd be able to have them as more than one type. Not, of course, in a match, being able to switch between, you know, maybe between matches, you know, Sasuke could go from attack to long range attack, and you know, just having multiple options for that, because of course characters have different fighting styles, they have different varieties of jutsus, you know, they fought in different ways throughout the series. I was thinking that yeah, like you'd be able to switch between them, and I'm starting to think that that's not an option, that, you know, every character just have its one fixed type, literally like Battle Z, and I mean that's fine, but and I'm starting to think that that it might be better for the jutsu variety, that the different jutsu your characters will have. I'm not sure how many different jutsu we've seen them use in a particular match, because you know, we're just seeing cuts because it's like just short clips, you know, from the trailers and everything. So I'm not sure how many jutsus they can actually use per game, but it seems like they might have at least like more than Storm, more than the basic 2, which is what I would hope, because you know, the combos are pretty basic. It's just more about the movement and about what the jutsu does, and you know, what their character type is, and how that's going to influence the game depending on the mode. What were you about to say?
I was just gonna say, what I can say when it comes to how much jutsus they'll have rather than the basic 2 that they did with Storm, it mainly rests on how much character they have in this game. Like, that is one of the key fundamentals to determining what they can do and how much they can focus on each character. Obviously, in my opinion, we all know that if you master one, you most likely can master the other. You know how it is in anime games. Like, there's rarely an anime game. You could even make the argument that Burning Blood is one of those games that you can't bounce from character to character. But with most anime games, once you play one character, you can play the other character exactly the same. With this game, I do not expect it to be any different, because it's more of a game that is centered around fun rather than being hardcore competitive. Obviously, you can try and make it competitive to a certain extent, but when it comes to anime games, they're all fundamentally broken in some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this game is dead.
No, I was just gonna say they're all fundamentally broken in one way. But say what you're gonna say.
Yeah, this game is definitely gonna have its broken aspects like every other anime game. But it is gonna have a pseudo competitive aspect to it, where with friends and with teams and in the right game mode, there are gonna be moments that are gonna be extremely hype. Even in 1v1s, of course it'll be hype, but you know,
yeah.
And Capture the Flag, when you're playing with friends or in border battle, there's definitely going to be those, you know, high moments where you're yelling in the microphone, you know, on party chat or whatever. So, I mean, that's going to be good times whenever the game comes out.
Yeah, I actually totally agree with that. Like, with this game, it has a lot of potential to be a game that could be, I wouldn't really say it would last long. It really does depend on the game modes, and it does depend on how good the combat is. But based on looking at it, it looks good. And keep in mind, with the trailer that we are showing it in the background, it did have a abrupt ending. And since it had an abrupt ending, it hints that there is more to come. And if there's more to come, me and Dugan most likely will end up recovering it. We're just letting you guys know the stuff that we saw early and the stuff that we noticed in terms of types, in terms of seeing someone like Pain being a range type with that almighty push, bruh. Pushing hairlines back left, right, and center, bruh. And you got Conan with her range type as well. Seeing all that stuff is looking dope. It's looking really clean. The modes are looking fun. It just needs to have good gameplay. Like I need to see how the moves, the controls are mapped out. Like, I gotta see it. I don't want it to be like Battle of Z, and I don't want it to be like J-Stars. It's gotta be above that. It can't be like those level games, because if it is those level games, a lot of people are not gonna like it. A lot of people don't like games where
I feel like. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, a lot of people don't like games where you literally can win just because you freaking started off or just because you got the first hit, should I say, first. A lot of people don't like games like that, and games like that are too broken to the point that people can't take it anymore. It has to have good gameplay. That's what I'm trying to say. But Dugan, you were gonna say something, so
I at
yeah.
least believe it is gonna be better than Battle Z, because in Battle Z, the people who developed that game, Art Dink, they had only made train simulators and fucking mech games mainly.
Bruh.
So it's like you're playing as Goku and you feel like you're flying a fucking mech, because that's the fucking build for what their builds for their games were.
Yeah.
With this, you see the gameplay is more free flowing. It's like you get good movement, you get like pretty smooth action. There's wall running. There are different, character types. I mean, you see Chakra with their mystical palm technique, just all different types of new things in this trailer that we hadn't seen before. It looks like they put some thought into how this barrier battle is actually going to go with the enemy team boss, and now they have pillars in here as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like this stuff is in here for a reason somewhat. But I mean, yeah, I'm liking the way it looks, man. I'm really liking the way it looks. I like the good, just everything they added to this trailer, like the descriptions, just their thought process on why they're doing certain things in this game the way they are. What were you about to say?
No, I was just gonna say that when it comes to border battle, they do look like they're putting a strategic element to it. And what I mean by that is, like, when you look at games like Call of Duty, well, you got stuff like claymores, you got stuff that you can actually leave in the way that can actually set off a trap. With this game, with border battle, it doesn't look as straightforward as the concept sounds. Obviously, you guys know, take down the other team's boss, but with this game, it seems like they're going to be giving you the element to set traps out for the opposite team, making it a lot difficult to take down the boss. That does really give a fun element, and playing stuff like that with friends does sound like a lot of fun. Like I said, it rests on the combat, but these are the ex-people from Team Ninja, so there's hope. There's hope. But these people are from Team Ninja, so there's hope with the game being good. And you also got that hint of doubt because overall, as a company, these people are new. They're new developers, they're new people, so you also got that hint of doubt. But what I can say, based on the looks and based on what they're trying to go for, this game looks like it's going to emulate the Naruto series better than any other game. I said looks, don't quote me on it. I said it looks like it's going to, I can't say it will because I haven't played the game yet. It looks like it's going to emulate it because, like what Dugan said earlier, they got Gamakichi, they got Kurama. The way they're using these characters, or like, should I say summoning or awakening, depending on how Kurama is going to work, they're using it in a different way that they've done in previous Naruto games. You got to keep that in mind. And when it comes down to the deep combat, it really does depend on how many characters they are going to be having in the game, and also it depends on what they want this game to be in terms of level of difficulty, and also in terms of level of what they want the game to be in terms of a game as a whole. But Dugan, got anything else to add to that?
Yeah, just a little bit before we wrap it up. And for anyone who's just thinking this may look like Storm, I mean, I'm just looking at, like, I can assure you it really does not, like, because I think you're just thinking more like Storm was the main Naruto game, right? It was for like a decade almost. So just think of it more as like Naruto, because a lot of the Storm combos were like pretty true to Naruto. So I mean, just think of it in terms of Naruto. Like, you see the way Sakura like smashes, that was very similar to her combo in Storm, because Storm had actually taken that from the anime. So I mean, that's just one thing to say, so we can all have like a good, like, just clean attitude going into this game, because this is something new, this is something completely different.
I totally agree with that. Like, this game is promising in terms of looks, but as a whole, you guys know how it is. You gotta pretty much wait and see how this game turns out.
And the jutsu looks sick. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, and I think that's it. Hopefully we won't be saying this is the 4th take if there is another take after this. But anyways, let me just wrap up this video. So please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, please leave a like, rating if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'll catch you next one, guys. Bye.
Peace.